A very warm welcome back to Court Farm for episode 9 with me, MrSealyp. Back here on Court Farms, we've got bills to pay. We've got to pay for the lease of a farm now, so I've got work to do. I'm leaving the little farm here. We've been staying at the caravan. They've been very good to me, very kind, very friendly. But we can stay at Stonebridge Farm now. We've got some equipment to move. We've got a harvest, well, we've got 2 harvests to do. We've got a sugar beet harvest that I took on, that I said. Thank you to everyone that messaged me. A lot of people apparently have been having trouble with the cotton. I know, I got absolutely hammered. People did the whole, well, you shouldn't be doing cotton in the UK. I know, I kept saying that all the way through the video, but, you know. It's one of those things, isn't it? If you don't say anything, people will comment. If you say to people, look, I get it, don't comment, people then see that as a red rag to a bull. So I'm going to comment anyway now then because he said not to. So it doesn't matter, people will comment anyway. So anyway, the cotton, yeah, a lot of people have said they couldn't complete on cotton harvests on here. So it wasn't just me. I thought I was going mad, which I am sort of technically. Let's park there. Lights off, engine off. But yeah, it's gone. So I thought, you know what, I'll jump on, do some Court Farms. We'll see if mods drop later on. And we'll kind of, yeah, just get a few jobs done. What was it, 12:22? I don't know how much we can be able to get done. We are borrowing using the cedar. I think I'm going to use... Oh, we'll use the Puma because I like it. I like it a lot. Let's go and grab the cedar. I think I've kind of given up on trying to avoid the chickens. It's almost impossible. And then what we can do is we can take the Claas and we can take the Puma down to Stonebridge. That's kind of going to be our base of operations. Although we are doing a lot of work out of Court Farm because this is where they've got all the equipment. We're going to use the harvester from here as well. Sort of a lease within the lease. We're going to be doing contract work but borrowing their equipment to do it. So they don't mind. We're going to pay them for it. So we've got a sowing contract that needs to be done. I mean, that's the thing, we've got to reach a point where we are buying our own gear. That's the only problem with this. I'm not a big fan of these with the power harrows on them. I'm not a big fan. I'm trying not to use stuff we've used before. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I've been watching a lot of Ollie blogs. Well, I've been doing a few bits and bobs. You know what I was thinking of doing as well? I don't know how people would feel about it. I haven't been feeling well enough. I was asked the other day, they said I did my first episode of Alma and I haven't done a live stream yet on it. I have been feeling so ill. And I said when I've been doing videos, at least when I'm doing a video, I get really worn out really quickly and I don't feel at all well. When I start to kind of get breathless and a little bit kind of, okay, I need to have a sit down, I need to have a breather. I can do that when I'm recording in sort of chunks. If I'm live streaming, I can't. I've got to sort of power through. So actually, what I'll do if I get out of the way. Yes, unfortunately, yeah, the live stream. Until I'm feeling like, you know, I've got enough energy that I can just say, right, let's go for it. Let's do a live stream. It's a little bit trickier. Let's get the light on here. There we go. But I was thinking, because the new, is it phase 11? I'm trying to think which one it is now. I'm sure it's phase 11 on SnowRunner, the lights camera action one. I got the thing to download that the other day, which I did, and that's Scandinavian. Oh, it looks amazing. Why are we not? Oh, both those bags had very little left in them. There we go. Yeah, it's Scandinavian with a whole load of new stuff and a couple of new bits of equipment to find. So I did think whether or not I should do, or whether or not I could do a live stream on SnowRunner of opening up the maps, finding the vehicles and doing a bit of stuff, because I haven't really done, I've done a little bit just me playing for my own sort of personal benefit for a bit of enjoyment. But I haven't really done any videos on it in quite a while, and I thought live streaming it would be quite a good way of going about that. Right. I have kind of found... it means going across other people's fields. It doesn't really work very well. No, don't want that. We want that. I can cut down from the farm down across there, and if you go around the outskirts of the fields, there are some bridges across the rivers. It's not that straightforward. It's easier going cross country here than it's going cross country from here. So we need to head out to field 113 to do the sowing contract. 118, I've got all the equipment out there. You can see we're in lay-bys in various different bits to get the sugar beet done. So we'll get out there and do this. And what I'll probably do is once you finish the sowing, we'll get straight on to doing the sugar beet. So I'm going to drive out there now. We'll get that done. Hopefully I can get all this done and we can start on our harvest contract on our Stonebridge farm. I'll tell you what I have found. Like I say, I don't mean to keep going on about it. It's just because, you know, whenever I do my videos, I talk about what's going on in my life at the time, you know, at this particular moment, how I'm feeling, what's going on, you know. And I think because I'm feeling unwell, and again, thank you to everyone that's been messaging me and saying, like, I hope I'm feeling better. I am feeling a little bit better, but it becomes very obvious. Like when I was doing the mod reviews and stuff the other day, how when you're not firing all cylinders, it feels like you're wading through treacle. It's so difficult to get into a flow, to get into a rhythm, especially with mod reviews when you're making all your notes of megabyte downloads, slot counts. Then you're going through the equipment and machinery, and you're trying to work out how everything works, and then remember all of that. Especially when you've got 4 or 5 mods, it's not too difficult. When you've got 20 mods, it gets a little bit harder. When, like the other day, it was 33 plus mods and then mod packs within those, and we were well up over 50 mods. And that mod pack that was all the coffee for the magic coffee factory and the cream factory as well, all of the processes, all of the things, and it was really difficult to focus. You know, I would work stuff out, I'd make my notes, and I would sit and run through it in my head, think, okay, when I start recording I need to do this, this and this. And then when I started recording, it was like my brain just fogged, just completely fogged, and I'm finding that a lot. It's really weird. Yeah, you do really take it for granted when you're feeling well and you're firing on all cylinders and everything seems great and rosy and you're cracking along. Then when you start to feel unwell, it makes a massive difference to your output, your well-being generally. Percentage today, how are we feeling, everybody, today, percentage-wise? I reckon I'm at a 60% today. That's the lowest I've been for a little while. Because I haven't put many videos up, I've been doing mod reviews, I haven't been doing videos like this. I think had I done a video like this on maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, I probably would have been 50%, if not lower. So yeah, still feeling pretty washed out. You can probably hear from my voice, my throat. I just, get quite breathless and a little bit, because I'm asthmatic anyway, and that's always been the thing with COVID. The 2 times, well 3 times I've had it, but the 2 times I had it really badly, everyone was terrified, because it's that, once it gets to your chest, it can be deadly. I'm thinking, what's today, Friday? If I feel a bit better Saturday, I've got to think as well from the Rugby World Cup. I've been catching a few more games, which last week I caught the games at the weekend. Tonight is South Africa, Argentina, and then tomorrow, England, South Africa. Oh, it's going to be a tough game. I tell you what, have we got the minerals? That's the thing. Have we got the minerals? Watching South Africa, France last weekend, that was a battle. I mean, an absolute. They were both incredibly physical sides, and it was a proper battle. I mean, our game wasn't. It was, it wasn't easy, but I say our game, England's game, but. I think we're going to struggle against South Africa. They're an incredibly physical side, but then we can be. If we bring the right game for our opponent, we can do it. We can do all right. Argentina, New Zealand, I would say New Zealand all day long. But then that being said, I've seen Argentina over the years play some phenomenal rugby, and I haven't seen much of this World Cup. But to get to the position they're in, playing against New Zealand, they can't have been playing badly. So I wouldn't want to call it. SealyG is a massive All Blacks fan. Massive All Blacks fan. And if All Blacks aren't playing, then she's an England fan. But yeah, she's a big fan of All Blacks. I mean, I always tell her, I hark back to the Jonah Lomu days, and all the famous New Zealand players going back for the last 20 years. She's only really seen the last few. I remember watching the World Cup with her. Not the last one, the one before, I think. And we watched tons of it. And she absolutely loves it. Loved it. Right, can we get in here? Am I in the right field? Nope, next one. Where's the gate? I wasn't intending to talk all the way down. Oh, that's alright, double gate. Got plenty of room. It's like when your sat-nav doesn't quite catch up, and especially if you use on your phone. Oh, they've got a bit of room so we can swing the seed around behind us. Oh, switch it. We need to be on wheat, don't we? It's me quite happily canolaing along, as I always do. Double check, triple check, sowing, field 113 with wheat. We are good to go. Set it on. Drop it down. I don't have access to this land. What? Well, it's letting me seed, so I'm not quite sure why it's saying that. We're on field 113. We're sowing wheat. What does the contract say? 6%. That's odd. Might be because I'm right on the edge, potentially. I have found some of the boundaries on contracts that I've done before. Some of the Baling ones as well, it's come up with that. And the boundaries for the contract seem to overlap. What's it saying now? 10%. Just let me do it. 10% complete. It's been a funny old year, this one, isn't it? I don't know why that's something comes to my mind. I'm just I was talking to MrSealyp the other day, and our son came over to see us. We don't see him very often. He popped over and just got a message out of the blue. Can I come over, for a cup of tea? It was lovely. Popped over and we were chatting. And he does that thing where he reminds you of things. And he said, you haven't been up to late much this year. And I said, no, this is the first year in 5 years. We'll be up in the Lake District, and you guys will know, you watch my videos 5, 6, 7 times a year. Get a spare 5 minutes, let's jump in the van, let's go up. We just haven't, it's been a really tricky one this year. Finances are a difficult one. I've had this conversation before with all you guys, with the price of everything having gone up, mortgages, and payments for everything, fuel bills and that kind of thing. It's that thing of you got to watch your pennies. I don't understand why it's still saying I don't have access to the field. KCC took on the contract. We're on KCC's bank account. The only difference being we're using Court Farm Cedar, but it doesn't matter what equipment we use for doing the contract. We can use anything. We can go and buy a piece and bring it here. That doesn't make any sense. And the contract is still completing. 25%. Just looking at those Baling contracts, see if any of the big ones, that one that was 14,000 is gone. There's a whole load more have appeared. So anyway, this needs to be done. I'll get this complete. Then we'll just go up the road a ways and we'll jump onto the sugar beet. We'll get that done. Hopefully we'll be able to... sugar beet we don't need to hold on to for any particular reason. I was thinking about if we're going to do pigs, because if we're going to get the Court Farm Country Park kind of up and running a bit, Court Farm want to do pigs, and I think we're not in a position where we've got enough contracts and the fields are big enough for us to have crop left over. Like I would normally pick up contracts and build up enough stuff that we could. I think build up enough stuff. I keep doing that, cutting off sentences partway through. The thought is in my head. I'm not saying it out loud. To do all the requisite crops for doing pig food, I think we might just have to buy pig food. I think if we're going to do it, we might just buy pig food. So I'm hoping if we move in one row, that should stop coming, because that is really annoying me. You know. It's peculiar it's doing it. Yeah, it's got. I wonder if it's because I'm sowing. So it's doing the sowing, but because the power harrow is saying you don't have access to the field because it's registering that I'm cultivating. That could be why it's not liking it. It's still going up. Yeah. So that's going to annoy me for a bit longer, but it doesn't need to annoy you anymore. So I'll see you when this is done. We'll drive up the road and we'll get onto the sugar beeting. Like I said, we've got bills to pay. The lease won't pay itself. Considering we didn't have access to the field, the contract is complete. We are done, so that one we can complete on 3,879. Like I say, it's all money in the bank. If that pays a month's worth of rent on the farm, so be it. What we are going to do though, I was thinking of going down to our bank account and moving to Court Farm because we use their seed and a bit of their seed, some money. But what I'm thinking is, because we've done all of the contract work for Court Farm so far and we haven't submitted the bill to them, so they haven't paid us for anything we've done yet. That's not on them, that's on us. We have submitted the bill because we're working kind of hand in glove at the moment, this symbiotic relationship. I think what we're going to probably do is offset the use of equipment. So if we borrow their equipment, we can offset that against the bill for work we've done for them. So it's a kind of trade in a way. Then it becomes, you know, we're doing work for you, which gives us access to some of their gear. Yeah, it works out quite nicely actually. I mean, we could just say, okay, let's do this all, you know, you pay us, we'll pay you. Every time we borrow something, we'll move money. You move us the money for the contract work we've done. But, you know, a handshake and an agreement can often work. Not always, but often. So what I'm going to do now is avoid... And I drove all the way down here, didn't hit anything. Now I'm out of cab. Clonk, fence post. I'm having a mare. So, as I said, we've got equipment parked up all over the place. Voucher there with 2 trailers. The people at the farm here were more than happy. They didn't mind at all. It's always nice when you've got farmers or farm sympathisers. That sounds a bit weird, but people that are down with this whole farming industry and get the whole concept and understand why you're doing what you're doing, and they're great, good as gold with it. When I was watching Tom Pemberton the other day, he did a video about he was doing slurry spreading, and he said they'd had a family or some people had moved into a house that right. So this is the contract equipment we've got for doing the sugar beet, had moved into a house that backs onto one of their fields, and they'd come into the farm shop. Now you see this often on Twitter when people put these inflammatory statements about people moving to the countryside and being angry with farmers, and 90% of the time it's utter nonsense. It's just rubbish that they've posted to get people to be angry and to comment and that kind of thing. But you know, Tom Pemberton said these people had come into the shop, and I suppose given their due, they'd moved to this house, whether it's a sort of holiday home or whether they've moved there full time, I don't know. And they had some people coming from America to visit them. Had gone to the farm shop and said, "Can you not spread any slurry, or do any slurry spreading or muck spreading for another week because we've got people coming and we don't want it to smell?" And you think, well, you've moved to the countryside. You've moved to a house where you must have been. When you looked around it, you realise, wow, that's ridiculous. You realise you were overlooking farm fields, that there's going to be farming going on. Now, admittedly, they did say, could you just hold off for a week? Not, can you not spread slurry on the fields at all? But like Tom said, the problem is we're slurry spreading, we're muck spreading. They call it box muck and you know, slurry. And he said, we've got to get this on because we need it to grow. And he said they're hoping to get a 4th cut out of that particular field before the end of the year. So he said, I need to get on it. He said, if it's going to pour with rain over the next few days, we need to get that field done. I can't wait 7 days. I've got to go and do it. But it's interesting that I wouldn't have the nerve to go and knock on a farmer's door and say, can you please avoid doing, you know, that farming thing you've been doing for generations, that farming thing you do year in, year out, to feed everybody, you know, and probably us as well. Could you just stop doing that for a bit? Because we've got people coming, I don't know. Just made me kind of smile. This is going to be a little bit trickier. This might be one of those... I think what I'm going to do is, let's disconnect that. Let's go in with the topper first. Get that just to one side so we can get the angle right. Because I think with that on the front it's going to be a little bit trickier. I need to get all the lights on here. Let's drop that down. We have got kind of care wheels on here. Should have lowered that first. That'll give me a little bit more turning space. We might clobber the fence a little bit here, the hedge. But that means without that on the front I can come a little bit further forward before I turn. If we can get the angle right, which I don't think we're going to. I don't think there's a gate at the other end of the field either. Oh, that's not good at all. Tricky. Can I get any further along? We're not right through the hedge. We're kind of part way. We can straighten up and get through there. Now attach that. I think I've hit the fence post. Oh no, we might be alright. Oh! Squeakton! Do I need to unfold that? Turn that on. Drop that down. I'm going to have to do this next bit in a minute. We'll come around and do that in a bit. Let's go to the back. Don't need pipe out yet, do we? Need to drop it though. There we go. So we can get onto the field and let's get cracking. Ah, now pipe out here. Oh, we're on the right side. That's okay. I just suddenly thought if the pipe opens up the other way, we're going the wrong way around the field. That's not going to help one little bit. I can turn that off now because we're in the field. We know where we are. I don't need to locate myself anymore. That's trickier to see. I'm just looking at my light options. Yeah, that's probably the best option. So we've got grass to the side. It's just making sure I'm getting the sugar beet. We're at that time of day where the lights are not that great. It's not dark enough that the lights on the vehicles are that bright. Does that make sense? They're that bright. It's like turning a light on during the day. It doesn't have the same effect, does it? But we're in that twilight. Weirdly, I say twilight time. It's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We shouldn't be in that twilight time. But I suppose we are October. And I'm just thinking, I'm sitting saying that now. I'm recording this. What time is it that I'm recording this? It's 11:30 in the morning. So not quite lunchtime. And it hasn't really brightened up. The sun hasn't really come up where we are. That being said, we're in the midst of pouring rain. And according to the forecast here in the UK, especially where we are, next 3 weeks, I think it's going to rain almost continuously. And up in Scotland, they've had horrendous weather. They've issued red warnings. One woman has died already. She was swept away in a rainstorm. They've had a flood barrier. What river was it? Completely engulfed. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. We've had... Oh, no, I've done it again. Too busy talking. Where did I reach full? It was back here somewhere. The question is, can I get the other vehicle in? Let's turn that off. Right, I can still see them in the lights. So let's keep going back until we get to a bit. I think I filled up quite a while ago, didn't I? I did this on Frontier, didn't I? Did exactly the same thing. Too busy yakking. Pay more attention. Actually, what I think I'm going to do, we've got a bit of a gap here. We've got a bit more grass. Let's get the pipe out. Can I be able to get underneath that? Probably. Engine off. Let's go and get the other one. How far back did we go? Oh, just there. We're not far then. That's where we got to. Drop the beat. Let's go. Anything I missed on the first pass, I'll grab on the second. And pay close attention to how full we're getting. I keep forgetting these only do 6,000 litres. Yeah, we're nearly at 3,000 already. This is going to be quite a lot, and it's going to take quite a while. Where are we taking this to as well? I don't know why I'm asking you. You don't know until we actually get onto it. Harvesting sugar beet field 18 takes long meadow. Oh, that's just up the road, isn't it? Straight up the road from where we are up to here. Lonk Meadow Stores. Oh, that's all right. Actually, there's not... Oh, no, there's a ditch in there. I was going to say, is there a better access point at this end of the field for getting in and out? No. Not without going into a ditch, which I think we'll try to avoid if possible. I need to come much wider around to make sure I get... I might have to go around the edge again, I think, because I'm thinking... I don't know, it's difficult to tell, isn't it? No, it's about the same width, isn't it? The topper and the width of the pickup, they are the same width. It just doesn't seem to be catching all of the stuff on the edge, so I just need to make sure I'm just over the edge enough. Yeah, and I go wide enough that I can pick up all the sugar beets. So yeah, I'll probably go around the edge and make sure I collect everything, just to maximise. And like I said, we're not going to keep hold of any of this. We are going to sell it all, because we're probably going to do pig food, and I think we'll go down that route of I'd rather sell what we've got and spend that money buying pig food than getting all the constituent parts to make pig food. That would make more sense, I think. And I think if we use the farm supply pack by the Lort, we should be okay, because we can pick up a fair bit fairly cheaply, so we'll get some nice cheap pig food when we get round to doing pigs. I don't know when we're going to do them. I'm just thinking, can we... I can't raise it anymore, can I? No. I haven't really left myself a lot of room. This is a tricky one, this, isn't it? I suppose I'm on care wheels. I can kind of cut across a little bit. If I turn that off, I'll go onto the crop a little bit. We're going to top it all in a minute anyway, so all good. Right, rinse and repeat, I believe. So, audiobook, music, or more Ollie blogs. Like I said, I first saw him on Tom Pemberton's channel when they did the tractor run, and they're organising that at the moment again, the Christmas tractor run to, is it Alderhay Hospital in Liverpool? For the kids and stuff. They're trying to organise that at the moment, and I've sort of seen bits and bobs here and there, and I thought, you know what, I'll go on and subscribe to his channel, and so I'm now playing catch up. There's obviously years worth of stuff, and he's going through a process at the moment where he's doing a video every single day. He does the birthday bumper, which is cool. You can donate and you can get your birthday. They write on the bumper of whatever vehicle they're sort of using, or one of the vehicles in the yard each day, and they read out the birthdays and stuff. And I have to say, it's a completely different farming, because he's a farming contractor but runs a farm as well, and different farming experience and a different look at English farming compared to Tom Pemberton's, which is fascinating. I love that it's a completely different feel, a different look, and you know what he's doing, and the equipment he runs, and grain dryers and wood chipping, and a whole different range of things. But also the stuff that he's talking about, there's some real scary stuff going on. They'd put some crop in the ground, and it was just starting to come through, and he'd gone out to the field to check on it, and he said he thinks it was hair coursing. They'd been out at night, people had been out at night hair coursing, and had driven all across the field that had been drilled, and the crop was emerging. A lot had been doing donuts. They were all across the field. It was wrecked, and you stop and you think, why would you do that? That's someone's livelihood. That's their life. It baffles me. It really does. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Anyway, I've done what I always do. I looked at it and thought it's a small field. Won't take long. Righto. See you when you're older. It's 136. First full load of 37,000 litres. Let's do this. I did go around the outside like I said I was going to. There were a couple of little bits I've missed here and there. Nothing too horrendous. But it's surprising when you, unlike other crops where you miss a little bit and think, oh, it's only going to be a few grains, it's not going to be very much. With the sugar beet, it's one of those crops that because it's quite high yielding, you miss a tiny bit. When you go over it, you suddenly think, wow, okay, that was nearly 1,000 litres, or so. You know, it does make a big difference. Now, we should be going to this sell point because the other one's bales. I'm going to double check. We are showing. I'm going to save the game. Just in case, because the problem I have with the cotton, you don't want anything to go wrong. I should have gone up the other side of the car park. Then what I could have done was turned in a little bit easier. So let's go a little bit wider here, swing round. I've got these on tip side left, so I'm going to stay over to the right a little bit and hopefully they all come up with tipping. There we go, overload sugar beet. Money's not going up, that's a good sign. Always a good sign. That's better. Trailer number 2. %13 transported. Okay, there we go. Can't quite see that one. There we go. %26%. We got more to do. But I thought I'd show you doing the first load, just to get an idea as well of how much we're going to do for each 37,000 litres. That's pretty good. If we have a bit left over, like I say, we'll sell it. If we don't, we don't. I'll see later on when I'm finished. I think it'll probably be the next best thing. It's 2:51 in the afternoon. I'm concerned we're going to have the same problem as we did with the cotton, you know. This is showing, the contract is showing as 98% complete. But when I delivered the last load, it said I was only up to 86% delivered. Now each of these loads, when they were full, was doing 26%, and I'm not on a full load. I'm not convinced this is going to complete the contract, you know. I can't afford to lose more again. After the cotton fiasco, I'm hoping that that's an error. Please complete. Because if this doesn't, I don't know what we're going to do. Okay, contract complete. 1,386 made. We're not going to make mega money on this. I thought that normally sugar beet contracts you have quite a bit left over. I know when I was doing Carpathian, admittedly that was a fairly small field, but on Carpathian I was being left with like 100,000 litres. I guess it comes down to how it's set up. Obviously I'm just here for the harvest portion. I haven't done any of the rest of it. We'll get that done as well. So that's like another 3.5 grand on top of the contract. That's pretty good. The contract itself. Let's turn beacons off, lights off, engine off, that away because we've got our Puma here we need to take back to Court Farm. Contract then, harvest complete, 6,452 on top of the 3 grand. It only cost us £334 to borrow the equipment, so that's pretty cool. So we can add that into the coffers. Let's collect on that. I have taken a baling contract on. The more silage bales I can have sat to feed the cows, the better. This one I've taken on, not Court Farm. Oh no! I've realised what I've done. I accepted the contract. I didn't borrow equipment. To be fair, we might be alright. I'll do that off camera anyway, but Court Farm have got mowers and they've got the baler. We'll just need a wrapper. If we can lease a wrapper, that's not a problem. Oh, I can't believe I did that. What an absolute melt. That's not too bad. Cultivating contract 1565, price reduced by 246. Court Farms has got a cultivator, hasn't it? Or did we lease one? Can't remember now. But anyway, yeah, let's hop the fence. So we're up to 126,331. So like I say, every contract we can pick up, it's all paying the bills. It's putting us where we need to be. I'm trying to think of the best route to go back from here, really. I'll keep trying to find little shortcuts through. So what we've got to do now, drop the cedar back off at Court Farm. The Puma can go back down to Stonebridge. We're going to borrow the harvester and we'll make a start on the harvest contract on Stonebridge Farm, which should earn us a little bit of money as well. I'm just trying to find, yeah, little side turnings. Let's put that back on. Off to the right. Trackways and lanes and stuff that might lead us to the bridges, because there are a few different bridges. It's just whether or not there's one there, but it just takes us into another field, so I'm not sure. You end up then driving through other people's property. Oh no, there's a track the other side. Does it go that way? No, that way. I don't think this is going to help at all, actually. I think I'm going further out my way, aren't I? Anyway, we'll head back to Court Farm. Let's get some of this equipment manoeuvred and let's get that harvester down the road. I've got to work out how to get onto that field, actually. If we go and check on our map again, I always go the wrong way. So that field's ready to harvest, field 1. And I'm thinking we're at the farm there. We're going to have to go past the farm, up that lane there and into the field, I think, because there's another little farm there that could be purchased, but these are the fields that we got with Stonebridge as part of our lease agreement. Just get past that pivot point so I can turn and not get caught on the fence or the hedge. There we go. Have I mentioned before I love driving around this map? This is a part I haven't driven before. It's just wonderful. Wonderful. So this is where things get a little bit more interesting. I'm not going to lie. After my faux pas, I thought it was a wheat field. I don't know why I had in my head it was a wheat field. So I thought I'll get down there with the header. We'll be able to get straw off it as well. I even checked to make sure I'd enabled straw swath on the harvester. Got down there and realised it was corn. So anyway, I also realised driving down there with the header trailer and the header, I wasn't sure how I was going to get a corn header down there, because even a 3 metre one is too wide, you'll see. So I thought I'm going to have to go looking to see if they've got one available at the store that's narrower. And I'm saying narrower, I mean folds narrower. This is a Cressoni Compact 10. I think it's 6 metres wide unfolded, but folded it's narrower than the harvester, which we need it to be, because when we turn down this side turning, let's get the indicator on, the residents here must absolutely love harvest season. I've had to wait for a gap. Whoa, what was that? Wait for a gap in the traffic, get far enough round that we can turn and not hit anything. So down White Cross Lane. Like I say, people must absolutely love harvest season here. I'm not sure about this. Look how tight that is. Are we even going to get down here? Got to try and keep central to the road, avoid telegraph poles. This is so tight. I've got the wall literally down to the side of me there. People's front gardens, fences and walls the other side. Error in judgment with driving, and it's going to cost money. Right, I need to use this driveway a little bit to avoid that telegraph pole. And there is no other way of getting to this. Why would you? Why? Yep, just keep coming. Shall I move out the way? There you go, you go past. Look at it. This is challenging. I like this. Assuming, of course, we can even get in through the gateway. Honestly, how do farmers do this? They'll have to run either much smaller harvesters, or I guess have bump outs. I suppose the more times you swing wide here, the less the hedges and stuff would grow there. Can I even get in this with this header? Wow. Can I get that unfolded? So it's a very cool header. I do like this. Trying to hope I don't hit the gate. No, we look alright. Blimey. What a palaver. Cow's looking happy. I'm going to go straight up first, I think. I'm not going to try and turn. We'll worry about that later on. This is all going to go into the Court Farm silo. Oh, actually, have we got a silo at Stonebridge? I can't remember. was always very conscious when doing stuff like this of like following the rows, using the snoops to follow the rows. But then having watched Millennial Farmer, Cole the Corn Star, a lot of these guys, when they've got corn that's down or blown at an angle, I've watched them doing soybean and various different crops where they're actually harvesting at an angle. A lot of times they'll follow the rows, of course they will, but sometimes they'll go at an angle across the field in relation to the direction they sowed or planted. So I'm not as, you know, I was always very kind of, oh no, I must, you know, must follow the rows, but that's not the case. We haven't done any soil sampling yet on these fields. I'm going to harvest this one, and then probably next episode, I forgot all about it in all honesty, we need to come out and do the soil sampling. I'm just looking at the bottom and looking at the yield. That is horrific. But I don't think this had any fertiliser on it or anything like that. So, I mean, to be fair, it's a free crop in respect to the fact we're leasing the farm, so we're getting this sort of unexpected, I guess. But I'm going to need to get out and do the soil sampling on the next one. Yeah, it's not yielding particularly well, but it's all extra crop. I'm thinking of going for one of the crop types, maybe put peas in it. We'll have a look. Give ourselves enough room as well once we've done round a couple of times that we can get the tractor in. That's going to be, I mean, it's not a big tractor. I'm even thinking maybe Court Farm needs to get, you know, I said earlier on about getting a smaller Massey, about maybe looking at getting something, but then the problem is with that, you're getting smaller equipment, but you can't pull bigger gear with it. You're going to have to go with, you know, the trailer we've got is probably, we might be able to go with something a little bit different, but it's a tricky one, isn't it? We can change our equipment, but I wouldn't say we can actually go any bigger. If anything, judging by some of the places we've had to get this harvester into, this harvester's even too big potentially. Yeah, that yield is awful. I have brought down the Puma and the Claas to Stonebridge Farm. When we've done all this, this will go back, and then we'll grab the Land Rover and bring that back over. But that I don't know if I'll get a chance to get all that done. Oh yeah, I guess we will. We'll get this completed. Don't worry about getting the harvester back later. I don't want to drive along that lane again. I looked at all different routes. There's a gap in the hedge here, but that takes you into another field of crops that doesn't have a trackway around the outside of it. I kind of looked at the map and thought to myself, well, we're here. You can get around the outside of the farm here, and I guess potentially through that field or that one. See what we'll do. Let's chuck the drone up. So if you go through this gap in the hedge here, like I say, there's not much of a field boundary, so you'd be going across someone's crop. We can go around the edge of that field. That gate does open, so we could have gone through there and through this pasture. There's a gate at the other end. I mean, that probably would have been easier than going down that lane. Might be a good way of going back. Then we're back out into Stonebridge Farm, back out into the main road. That might be a better option. We don't have a silo here, do we? Oh, yes, we do. Yeah, I've got this little one here. So we can put the corn into that. So I'm just looking at... Can't get out through the back of this farm into this field. This one doesn't have a gate. Our cow pasture doesn't have a gate. We could have gone through the cow pasture. That would have been the easiest option, really. If we'd have gone straight through here. Is there a gap there? No, it's all hedge, isn't it? I don't think we can remove any hedges. The lower bit there, but then you take that down and then you run the risk of, unless you could put a fence in, another gate in of the cattle getting out. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to There's got to be a way. Oops, no. We've got 12,100 litres in here, another 3,300, 3,100. What have we got in there? 3,310 left in the harvester. The field is cleared. If we open that back up again, you'll see. Oh no, it's in the harvester, isn't it? We've got it showing there. Yeah, yield's not great. Not great, but we'll improve on that for next time round. That's all good. So what I'm going to do is, I was going to go out the gate. We got through the gate, I say no problem. It was tight, very tight. If we can just squeak down the side of the field here. Let's go right on. There we go, all right. On the grass. And then cut through here. I'll leave this open because we're going to come back through to get to the 3,000 litres. What I'm going to do is take this down, put it in the silo at Stonebridge Farm. So that's sowing, sugar beet, corn, done. I'm going to use the tractor actually, or one of my tractors. Actually, I've got the pallet forks on the Claas, and we'll give the those couple of silage bales that I've unwrapped a little bit of a nudge. Which I can go through. Oh, there's all different ways I can go here, aren't there? We haven't got any animals in here at the moment, so that's good. Close that off. Avoiding the ditch if possible. It is starting to get dark though, isn't it? Trying to find a way through. It's all tight. Tight lanes, tight yards. And I love it. Absolutely love it. So I said we'll go back out and we'll get the other 3,000 litres. The harvester will go back. Let's get the lights on that. Why aren't we opening? What's going on? South Farm. Why is the gate open? There we go. That's weird. If we need another one, I can unwrap it, push it in. We've got those over there. Like I said, we're taking on another baling contract. So the more bales we can get and we can store up, the better. Will help us through. I don't know what's going to happen with regard to snow and stuff. We'll see. We might get some. I'm very happy with today's work. All the jobs done I wanted to do. Let's... There we go. I'm going to go back and get the rest of that. And that's where I'm going to leave this episode. I say, a few jobs done. We got to pay the bills. And we are doing just that. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.